graph f of x on the given domain. So f of x is equal to 4 times the absolute value of x plus 6 minus 8. And the domain is x between negative 8, including negative 8. This bracket means that we're going to include this endpoint, and negative 2. And we're going to include negative 2. The bracket means we're going to include it. If we didn't want to include the endpoints, we would use parentheses. What are the coordinates of the vertex? So let's think about the vertex first. The vertex, you can kind of view it as the corner of an absolute value function. And so it's either going to be the maximum point or the minimum point of the function. Now over here, let's just think about it a little bit. When would this hit a maximum or a minimum point? Well, we know that the absolute value of something is always going to be non-negative. It could be 0. That's why I'm not saying that it's always going to be positive. It's going to be non-negative. So we have something that's non-negative right over here. And then we're multiplying it times something that is positive. So this thing, the whole expression over here, non-negative times a positive, is always going to be non-negative. So it's either going to be 0 or greater. So this thing is always going to be adding to the value of f of x. So the minimum value of f of x happens when this whole thing is 0. And then when this whole thing is 0, then f of x is negative 8. That is the minimum value. For any other x, at any other point, this thing is going to be larger than 0. So let's just think about, when does this whole thing equal 0? Well, this whole thing is going to be equaling 0 if x plus 6 is equal to 0. And when does x plus 6 equal 0? Well, when x is equal to negative 6. When x is negative 6, then this whole thing is 0, and f of x is equal to negative 8. Negative 8. So that's the vertex, and that's going to be the minimum point. This is going to be an upward opening absolute value function. So now let's just draw it. And what we could do is we could put some points at the vertex. So let's put some points at, let's see, negative 6, 8. Negative 6, negative 8. Negative 6, negative 8 is right over there. Let me scroll down, make sure you can see that point. Negative 6, negative 8 is right over there. And I actually want to make you see the function definition as well. And let's just think about what it does at the boundaries. On either side, it's going to be a line. So when x is negative 8, what is f of x? Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. Take the absolute value of that. That is going to be 2 times 4 is 8, minus 8 is 0. So you have the point negative 8, comma 0. And then let's think about what happens at the other boundary. When x is negative 2, negative 2 plus 6 is 4. The absolute value of 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is going to be 16, minus 8 is 8. So it's going to be the point negative 2, negative 2, 8. And just like that. And I think we're done. Yes, we are.